doesn't have to be that. Just like a derivative, something
Cool. That's
similar-ish.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of On the Table's Top. I'm Arthur Perkins. This is APGamingREAL. I'm joined by Ratosaurus, who is also an artist, and Aricido, who you might recognize as being an artist. And I think they're both currently taking commissions. Gentlemen, can you confirm that for me?
I can confirm.
I can confirm.
Fantastic.
As of this week, officially reopened for business.
So let's do a quick series of introductions and then kind of jump in here. For those who don't want to listen to the introductions that are watching live, we do have a Star Wars crawl for you. If you're watching on YouTube, you can go ahead and grab it real quick in the in the description section. I think that link got broke. You're gonna have to manually copy and paste it. But there you go. Fam at home. You can get a leg up on what's about to happen. Rad, who are you? Where can people find you, and what do you do?
Hi, I'm Ratosaurus. I do commissioned artwork sometimes for people who give me money to do that.
That does sound reasonable.
You can find me on Twitter at Ratosaurus. You can also find me on Arthur's Discord and on occasionally on some of his other shows on Twitch. But the easiest way to get me is either to contact me on Twitter or from Arthur's Discord. But yeah, I'm excited to be here on this truly innovative show that Arthur has put together here.
I'm
excited. Truly innovative, and I'm excited to be on the other side of it someday too when I have the hardware.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll flip it around. Aricido will be the player.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll play Vampire the Masquerade, and Aricido will play a girl in a dress.
What? No.
What you don't know is that that's
see.
Rat's weakness. He can't draw
is.
them.
I'm
I
not
see.
adept at drawing girls in dresses.
What about a really hot one? Can
I
you do
mean, it's going to get inappropriate very quickly.
that? That's true. Which then,
Yeah, I draw mostly like action hero type things or monstrous type things.
Dinosaur mecha.
Yes, I'm not. Yes, dinosaur.
Incredibly
robots as well.
detailed, combining Transformers.
Yeah. But I don't. I don't excel at the female form. I've been working on it. I've been trying to get better, but as a little boy, I just grew up drawing all my favorite superheroes, which more often than not trended male. So that's kind of what I got good at drawing.
we should just fuse together and make the ultimate art.
Right. But yeah, I am a super huge Star Wars fan and nerd, so I'm really excited to be playing this Star Wars game today. I made my character and just said that he looked just like me, so I could trick Aricido into drawing me, so that I could have drawings of myself.
Listen.
He's gonna put them on the fridge too, so his kids
Yeah.
can see them.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna be all realistic and shit.
Yeah, no, I need you to embellish.
You lean
and
towards
make
your
me
son
look
and you're like,
amazing.
I know I'm wearing an Imperial uniform, but that's only because I'm undercover.
That's right. My kid would totally get that. I don't know. That's probably enough about me. I tend to go on and on in introductions, so I'll keep it short. Happy late Father's Day to all the dads out there. I had a fun one. I went to the beach and got sunburned. So.
Did you pre-order that dad game?
No.
Hot Dads? Making dad sonas?
Dude,
No, I saw that. It made me LOLs, but no, I did not.
People are thirsty for that game, man.
I mean, it's a Game
Yeah.
Grumps game, so people are gonna be all about it.
My background is not super anime. I do enjoy an anime from time to time, but that genre is not something that has been a big part of
That's
my
too
life.
bad, because most
Get
of my description is going to make Star Wars an anime tonight.
That's fine. If you've ever seen it's like a fan made. Have you seen the fan made like TIE Fighter?
Yeah. That
Very
is
anime.
amazing.
Super
Yeah.
cool.
That guy
like,
made
it's
that
awesome.
alone over like 4
Yeah.
years, including the music.
If you haven't seen it, that's how to do Star
The
Wars.
guy on
anime
the
right.
Star Destroyer who's like, dramatic finger point.
Yeah, it follows like the whole like TIE bomber squad.
Oh yeah,
the
she like
asteroids
licks
and
her
stuff.
lips and is firing missiles off, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, no!
It's really fucking cool. Just definitely check
It's
it out.
amazing. Yeah, no, if they made a Star Wars anime, it would be fucking incredible.
I agree. I would watch it.
Especially
Like I
if they
said,
made it from the Imperial point of view. We always hear about all this rebel bullshit all the time.
Yeah,
I hated
I've been a
Rebels.
firm believer that we need an Imperial. We need an Imperial movie, a cartoon, something. We need something from the other side. I forget which company was doing it, but for a while there in the late '90s, early 2000s, there was a
They're
series of
bad
comic
guys.
books, the trades, which was called, I think, was it called Empire? I think it might have been Empire, but I have like 8 of them, and they're all short stories told from the Imperial perspective, and they're really good. They're outstanding.
College Humor's done a bunch of videos about stormtroopers, including the stormtrooper version of Cops, where they talk about the
Oh,
anniversary of the destruction of the Death Star like it's
yeah,
9/11, and the guy's like, it's an inside job. You know,
I've seen
no
that.
one could have hit that thermal port, okay?
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker, the Jedi. Oh
But
man, it's really good. Check them out. I think you can just Google College Humor Stormtroopers. They're
isn't there?
old though. They're like a decade and
Yeah,
a half
I was
old.
gonna say, isn't there one where there's like several stormtroopers in a bar and they're
Yeah, that's
talking
the
about
exact
like,
one. Yeah.
yeah, there's one where they're talking about like the horrors of like the Ewok,
Yeah.
the Ewok ambush and like how they were all eating the stormtroopers and like how terrible it was. I might be mixing it up with one of the comic book stories.
There's
There's
a
definitely one in the comic books where they're like, one of them goes on and on of this diatribe about these furry little monsters that just like heart of darkness like scenario where they came out of the mist and like cannibalized them all. And at the end of the story, he's like, he's like, that's the one thing that keeps me sane is knowing that all of that Death Star wreckage had to go somewhere. And then there's another guy like on the other side of the bar is like, actually the rebels were able to blast most of that away before it impacted the moon's surface. And like the guy's like, pupils just constrict to like itty bitty because he goes to like a really terrible place inside of his mind, and that's just like the end of the comic. I
I
was like,
know
that's awesome.
you and I, Rad, share a like for the good Star Wars novels, which is to say, not the ones where Han Solo shoots Leia with a love gun, or
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker marries a dreadnought, and
Right. Yeah.
dreadnought meaning a space battleship.
Hmm.
Those are fucking awful. Just to be
They're
straightforward.
Look, if you've ever considered getting into the Star Wars expanded universe,
The Rogue Squadron
you could
is
you
real good.
I recommend it, but you need to buckle up because you have to wade through a lot of trash to get the gems in
I
those
mean, it's
books.
really easy. Rogue Squadron, I Jedi, and that's about it.
Well, I'm probably more forgiving for most
Thrawn
of
was
it
okay,
than
except for the
most.
second half of the last book.
Yeah, once you start,
Then they
people
try to
get
bring
yeah.
Thrawn back by having a guy impersonate him.
I was gonna say
That was
people get clone crazy a lot in the Star Wars
yeah.
universe, so you gotta stay away from that. But
The Emperor cloned himself like 90 million times.
even the really bad books have like that.
Nope, don't do it.
You'll get through them, and they'll just
Truce
be like,
at Baccarat. Ugh.
no. There's always like a page or two that like has really great like Star Wars moments.
It's not worth it,
but
man. Stick to
to
Rogue
me,
Squadron.
yeah.
The X-Wing series, I think, is what it's called.
I think for your usual casual reader, I would say yes. Read the X-Wing
Anything
series.
written by Michael Stackpole or Timothy Zahn is going to be where you want it.
The problem with the Star Wars expanded universe is they did not keep any sort of like author.
I mean, George
continuity.
Lucas wanted the money without any
Yeah.
of the things attached to it. So
They just constantly change authors like all the time, and they just trample each other's continuity constantly. So they're always playing like, how can I make this work for the story that I want to tell? I'm like, it creates a lot of garbage.
I mean, that's
but,
how they ended up with the Old Republic, because they were like, we're gonna wipe the slate
yeah.
and
Yeah.
go to a time where there's a bunch of Jedi.
Hey, I like the Old Republic.
The game we're about to play is based heavily on the Race Squadron stories, which are not written by Michael Stackpole. They're written by Aaron Allison, who died shortly after finishing them, I believe. But they are incredible and fantastic. It's about a group of commandos who get taught to be X-Wing pilots, and they are awful at everything they do.
But somehow miraculously succeed at everything.
I mean, they make the rebels out to be the terrorists they actually are. They are constantly assassinating people and blowing stuff up, but they still manage to look like the good guys in the process.
Isn't it the main character? Isn't it kind of like Corran Horn? Is that
Yeah,
the?
Corrin.
Yeah. Okay, I'm making sure.
That's
I'm in the right.
Jedi right there. That's his training as a Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh
Which
boy.
is one of the best ways I felt like they've ever told like the Jedi story.
I
Is
mean, the important part
Corran
was how they
Horn's story.
described the Force.
Yeah.
They were very clear that the Force is a mysterious thing and doesn't always work the way you want it to, and
Right.
sometimes you draw more out and get weird space visions. It's not like his midi-chlorian count is over 9,000.
Yeah.
What's that you have to say, Master Qui-Gon? Over 9,000?
Yeah. But yeah, I specific when Arthur was like, "What kind of Star Wars story do you want to do?" I was like, "Wraith Squadron" was the first thing that jumped to my head. I was like, "That's what I want to do."
That's my favorite series of books. I think it's a trilogy.
I like low force level Star Wars stories. Like probably why I really liked the movie Rogue One when it came out was like Star Wars is such a rich well to draw on that you don't have to tell like a Force and Jedi story every single time. There's a lot of other stories you can tell. So that's why I really liked the whole X-Wing book series and all that stuff. It was very low Force content. It's about like, look, here's just a really cool setting. Let's explore it a little bit outside of like that mysticism. So yeah.
Arrow, let's introduce you.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Rosaido, and I draw stuff. I draw stuff and get paid for it. But I also do it for fun.
Oh shit! I forgot, Arrow. I have all these pictures of delicious picanha that I had, and my caprinis.
You
all of the Brazilian steakhouse stuff. It was amazing.
You should have sent it to me, man.
I gotta plug my phone in and then download like 50 pictures. It's gonna be a real big deal.
Yeah, please. I'm gonna drool all over my keyboard.
It's gonna be awesome. Fantastic.
So, and I'm pretty much over here at AP doing commission stuff for the players and other stuff. You can find me at my Twitter at not gonna be space over here.
He's drawing it. B. Curvello.
Yeah.
I love how grizzled Garrison is looking right now. He's like, yeah, that's right. I've seen some shit.
That's right. It's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Visit him. Yeah.
Perfect. Anything else you want to share with us before we jump in here?
I'm doing commission work. I'm actually finishing some at the moment, but I'm getting close, so I'm gonna be free probably sometime in this week. So you can hit me there or at my email too at bcurvello at gmail.com. So we can talk about it.
Fantastic. All right, so we are playing Star Wars Age of Rebellion, which is the second of the trilogy of Fantasy Flight Games, Star Wars games. Let's go ahead with our crawl here. It is a time of civil strife. With the destruction of the second Death Star and the assassination of the Emperor, the Imperial Moffs have taken direct control of the governance of the sectors. In response, the Rebel Alliance has begun to consolidate assets for major strikes against sector capitals. Across the galaxy, worlds feel the fire of war. Above the planet Tamuzan, the skies are rent as a lone Imperial enforcer chases down a fleeing criminal. And so, the Star Wars title screen music fades, to the starfield. And then there's a low rumbling noise, and the camera starts shaking slightly. And then there's the familiar scream of a TIE fighter as the wings come across, and we notice that they're shaped like Interceptor's wings. They've got the diagonal forward. And we get in behind the Interceptor as it bobs back and forth. And in the foreground slowly resolves a kind of X-Wing looking craft, except instead of having 4 wings, it only has 2. It's a Z-95 Headhunter. The camera pans forward to look at the Headhunter, and on the side of it, there are flames painted coming out of the nose. And there's a giant bantha with wings and vampire fangs.
Whoa. The
hell? The pilot is a Rhodian who's like desperately juking with his craft and trying to avoid a spray of green laser fire from the Interceptor. Garrison, it's your turn. You have maneuvered your TIE Interceptor in behind the Z-95 Headhunter. The rest of your squadron is not going to be able to catch up in time. Either this guy's going to make it to wherever he's going at the edge of the system, or you're going to get him.
Do I know what this guy's affiliated with? Like, who are
Yeah,
these people
so
that
I
I'm
think what
attempting
happens
to
is
murder?
you get a lock on, and then your targeting computer, is like goo, 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 and gets you some information about the ship. It indicates that it's a ship registered with the Imperial Bureau of Ships and Services. It's a Hutt ship. This guy is a known smuggler. He's been red flagged, and there's a kill order on it that's like kill on sight. That pulls up.
Okay.
His name is Bambo Nas. Bambo Nas.
Okay. I like a dutiful Imperial agent. As soon as I'm locked on, there's zero hesitation, right? You can't see Garrison because of course he's in like the fully encased
TIE fighter gear.
TIE fighter pilot gear, which is all like has a complete life support system. He's basically in a giant spacesuit. But he's like, he's got his controls all in front of him, and he, flips open the toggles to shoot the quad lasers, and I do the link fire where I shoot all four because I'm deadly confident in my skills. Yeah, and I'll open up on him. I let him have it.
All right. So let's go ahead and make some rolls here.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's gonna be your gunnery. You're shooting against 2 purple.
Okay. First time I've used this character sheet.
Yep.
So what's the easiest way to do that? I'm looking at my skills right now. Do I just push the roll
button? So your gunnery is 3 green. So what you want to do is go up to the top where it says dice pool, all the way up at Dice and Destiny. Yep. Put a 3 in the green side, and then put 2 purple on the other side.
Okay. And
then you hit the giant Roll20 icon between them. Did you put the purple in?
Yeah. Oh, I have to click off of it. Probably,
yep. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll.
So you want me to clear it? And
do
just
that.
Purple. Okay.
Nope. You have no successes. It will cancel out, and you have 1 advantage. I think we have a little advantage chart here. If you want to figure out what you want to spend that on.
Yes, I have to organize all my windows here.
So you could recover 1 strain, but you can't do that with vehicles. You can set yourself up for a better shot next time to add a blue die.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
So here's what happens. You begin shooting. And we zoom out of the cockpit to see your TIE Interceptor shaking slightly. The cockpit scream of the engine. The Z-95 Headhunter shields are taking all the splashes. But the pilot suddenly jerks out of flight path and starts straying into an asteroid field. They are refusing to enter the asteroid field and instead have to go at the edge of it, and your targeting computer is getting a better lock on because of that.
Okay.
In response, they are going to take their turn. They're going to flip their craft around, so they're going to use the nose thing to quickly flip around and take a moment to aim and then shoot at you.
Oh.
I know, super wicked good. Okay, so
aiming.
I know, aiming. It's crazy.
Could have tried that.
You could have tried that. That's true. All right, I have a dice pool thing too. He has 1 blue because he's aiming. 1 green, 1 yellow, and your ship has 2 purple. And I believe you have shields. Oh no, you don't have shields because you're a TIE Interceptor. Nope. Okay, well. Did it not roll?
I just see your.
I don't think it rolled. Results. I'm gonna use your.
Helmet's is hard.
1, 1, 2 purple. Oh my god! No, that's way too many dice. That's way too many dice. I double rolled. It did double roll. Let's try it again. No, it's still double rolling.
Is it?
Oh, I know what it's doing. I know what it's doing. It's using all of the dice that I have in the GM pool at the same time. Yep, that's what it's doing. All right, yes, he is going to hit, and he's gonna deal some damage. You mad about that, bro? You mad about
I'm
that?
good. I'm too
All right.
good for it to matter.
Okay, so he hits with his wingtip-mounted light laser cannon. Forward-firing arc. It is also linked. He's going to spend the 2... Oh, no, that's 2 threat. He can't spend that. All right. So as he flips around, what we see happen is he starts firing, and targeting computer begins emitting a thin thing of smoke. And there's like a warbling of an astromech droid that's like... and we can see that there's like some sort of alarm that's like, internal stabilizers damaged. Do not attempt that maneuver again. And then it like literally end for end flips one more time. You are going to take 7 points of damage to your TIE interceptor.
Okay.
Do you have the interceptor page open?
I have the vehicle sheet.
Perfect.
I don't have anything entered into it.
All right, so TIE interceptors are... See, I'm glad this isn't a tabletop RPG stream and it's a drawing stream because I'd feel awfully underprepared. Interceptors are in here, I swear. It's page 270.
I'm the one trying free spaceships.
I know, buddy. Listen, let me tell you about the 50 centaurs you're going to have to draw later.
No, you don't.
All right, you have a hull rating, an armor rating of 2, so you are literally almost destroyed by this shot.
Whoa, okay.
Cool.
So the
Thanks
7
for coming out,
damage,
everybody.
2 of it gets eaten up, so you're down to exactly 1 hull threshold. Like, your interceptor takes a hit, and you're like, doo, doo, doo. There's no eject button. The computer is warning you to return to base immediately.
Is that like that's my official? That's like my orders.
I mean, the computer makes its decision, but you're the pilot. You're responsible for what you do.
Okay.
If you succeed and you do this, they're not going to care. And if you fail, you're going to get in a ton of trouble. Of course, if you fail, you'll probably be dead.
Probably also, not too worried about the trouble.
It'll be a very short show. We
We
play your brother, Marison. Marison Garlack. So what do you want to do? You can try to evade this guy. He's clearly not trying to hunt you down right now.
Right, like
he's
I
trying to
turn
get
around
away.
and leave, and he would just
But
go away.
I mean, you're a good pilot. There's a fairly good chance that if you want to, you can probably take this guy down. Speaking of, why don't you go ahead and click the Roll Destiny button, and let's see if fate is behind you.
Roll Destiny.
It's in the Destiny pool section right beneath the dice pool. I have to tell you guys, back in the day, oh boy, I have a dark side die. Well, that's real bad for you. Back in the day, Roll20's API for the Fantasy Flight game stuff wasn't as good, but now it's fantastic.
Nice.
It's really good.
Okay, what do I want to do?
What do you want to do?
What would Garrison do? I don't know. I could never live with myself if I lost to a Z95 headhunter.
I know, right?
They're
like,
just
they're so
the
weak.
worst.
Yeah.
Can I use under maneuvers? Does he interact with the environment?
Yeah. You're at an edge of an asteroid field if you have something you want to do. Interacting with an asteroid field is, well, probably not going to go like how you think it's going to go. But
no, probably not. Not with a, yeah.
You tell me, why don't you tell me what action you want to take, and I'll tell you how to do it. How about that?
Well, so like Garrison is considering his 3 options. He's considering going more on the defensive and continuing to try and take this guy out from a safer position, or he's considering going all in and continuing to be aggressive, or he's considering going back to the ship. And I think
this is a beautiful TIE interceptor. It took me a while to figure out what it was until you threw the second wing down.
Oh yeah.
Should say so.
I don't want to.
My only concern is the right hand wing. Well, I guess technically it's the left. We're looking on the left, but it's on the right side. The way that the angle you have is, it looks like the wing is folded outward rather than inward.
You're right.
I know.
Just a second.
All I'm sure you'll get the perspective right. I don't know how to draw it right. I just know it's not drawn correctly.
I'm gonna aim and shoot at him again because that's
okay.
the kind of guy
All right.
I am.
All right. You spend 1 maneuver aiming. Neither of you are pulling away from each other, so it's still quite a close shot. You're going to have one blue die, 1 yellow die, and 2 green die versus 2 purple.
1 blue, 1 yellow, 3 green, 2 purple.
No. 2 what?
What did you say?
1 blue, 1 yellow, 2 green.
2 green. Okay.
Versus 2 purple.
2 purple.
GM backseat arting? Yeah, I know, I'm fucking awful. I try to never interrupt. Oh, did you hit? Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Your targeting computer starts admitting the... No, you know what? It's probably not targeting computer. Your engine. Like, you're pushing yourself very hard to keep up with the C95 Headhunter at the edge of the pack. And the engine gives you, like, I'm overheating warning. It's probably not friendly like that. It's an Imperial system. So it's probably like, overheat. And your craft will take 1 system strain. You got plenty to go.
Okay.
Let's see what kind of damage a interceptor can dish out. It's probably a lot, since this is exactly what they're used for. All right, you have 2 hits, so it goes from 6, 7, 8. His shield was mounted on the wrong part, so you are gonna... Oh, actually...
Now, did he flip around to shoot at me?
Yeah, but he flipped around again at the end of the turn.
What a dick.
I need to roll a black die, because actually... He has a shield, and he gets to pick where his shot lands. All right, so you take a second threat. Yeah, so your ship has 2 strain. Basically, it's starting to overheat a little bit.
Sure.
All right, so you deal 8 damage back to the Headhunter. It has 3 armor, which means you deal 5. You take about half of its hit points away. We see this as one of the engines like begins flaring out. And it's only going on 1 engine, and the end of the wing is like shaking, like it might get ripped off. The enemy
has he lost his ability to run at all, or is he
No, he's still 100% on that regard. Because remember, you are also very heavily damaged.
Right.
He opens a comm with you, and he says, "Una chatapira," and then we get like the translation at the bottom.
Okay,
He's like, "I don't know who you are and why you think you're following me, Imperial scum, but I've got 50,000 credits here if you let me go. Just tell your friends that you have engine damage. They'll believe it because you do." And you're starting to get like a lock-on warning from a concussion missile launcher. He's just like, "I don't want to have to hurt you. I'm not that kind of guy, but I got to get out of here, you know." What do you want to do?
Do I know how long it's going to take for him to get a lock on that for that concussion missile?
It's gonna.
Is he going to be able to shoot it like his next turn?
He's gonna be able to shoot it now if he wants to.
Oh,
like if you don't agree to this, that's what he's
shoot
doing.
A concussion missile at me.
Yes.
As cool as TIE fighters are, they're still not exactly meant for like single one-on-one combat.
They are kind of meant to be used in giant packs, like 3 to 1.
Swarms, yeah. He's saying he's gonna pay me to let him go?
Yeah, he's gonna pay you 50,000 credits to let him go.
Okay, do I know if this is like a secure comm channel or if
I feel like that's definitely a knowledge thing that you could roll.
Okay, I want to know if my overseers or my computer is recording any of this.
That's a really great question, and I think we can find it out by rolling knowledge warfare, which is a 2 green skill for you.
Boop, boop. Against
2 purple.
2 purple? Okay.
Yep. Whoa!
I can't see it. Where is it?
You got 3 successes and 2 threat.
Okay.
The threat means I can put intentional mistruths in there.
Oh, come on.
You're gonna get 3 pieces or a very high quality amount of information, but there will be something that is intentionally false there.
Okay.
There is a flight recorder in your TIE fighter, TIE Interceptor, but it looks like, with most of the craft on fire, it is damaged and probably is going to lose all its information. With this asteroid field, the ship certainly is not getting there to... It's not going to happen, right? Like, they don't have any recording on what's happening on this side of the asteroid field.
Okay.
Your friends don't know. You think that you're probably in the clear. Maybe. I mean, there's just a very small chance.
Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna do several things.
Perfect.
I
need to turn some space music back on.
I'm gonna send him like a real tight beam of information like that I don't want to be intercepted or detected, and it's gonna have I feel like maybe this is something that Garrison has used before, like it's a common ploy of his, of like an account number that he can put money in. But I also want to like piggyback on this, like some sort of like tracing program.
Oh my god, you want to give him like a virus?
Something very low tech, just something that like maybe every time he does like a bank transaction, like I get a ping kind of situation.
This is that's a very serious set of programming. Let's see.
I feel like it's something he has ready though. Like,
yeah,
you know what
let's.
I mean, like as an infiltrator, he's got kind of like his Batman utility belt of things, right?
Yeah, I'm good with
so
this.
So he's got several ways of tracking people.
There's got to be an electronic style skill. I know that people use. Oh, it's called computers.
Computers.
You have a yellow and a green in it. I'm gonna give you 2 purple, and there's gonna be a black die because you're literally doing this in the middle of combat.
Okay. What do I have? A yellow and a green?
Yellow and a green.
Okay. Let's see, is there anything else I can do on this?
Infect him with midichlorians. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna use my dark side die.
What a dick.
To upgrade one of those purples to a red.
Okay, I changed it.
Excellent. Let's roll some dice.
Alright, we'll do it.
Wow.
Bam.
Wow.
Fuck you,
just
guy.
Destroyed it. Absolutely destroyed it.
So
Impossible. Impossible,
buddy. I pull away. I don't say anything to him. Oh no, I do say something. I say, you know, I put on this, and this I do put on like the open comm, so like my superiors and my squad mates can like hear me say, like, talk trash to this guy, right? And I just throw shade at him, just like, run, you dog. Your days are numbered. We'll track you down. There's no possible way you can get away.
His astromech droid sends you a quick blip, asking if you want to pretend that they're dead.
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, okay. So
if he's got some sort of
your bank account pings. You get 50,000 credits. The astromech droid cuts the wing off, the one that was loose.
Oh wow, okay.
And sends it soaring over the asteroid field, like shoo, 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 shoo. And as you pull away, he like lands, he repulsors down onto an asteroid. And suddenly, you know, as you break above the field, you get comms from your Carrack-like cruiser, your command vessel. And they're like, Dock 1, this is Carrack-like cruiser Indomitable. Have you destroyed the target? We are reading wreckage.
Affirmative. Target destroyed.
Telemetry on your craft is not available. Have you been damaged, Dark 1?
Affirmative. Heavily damaged, returning to cruiser.
Dark 3, escort Dark 1 back to cruiser. Keep an eye out for any further hostiles. The commander wishes to let you know you've done a good job, Dark 1. Report to the CAG back on base. Indomitable out.
Good copy, out. And before my escort comes around and I start to pull back around to go back, I want to reach down wherever like the flight recorder is on my ship.
Okay.
And I want to make sure that it's going to be too fucked up to get anything off of it. Like I want to reconfirm that that's broken and none of this is going to have been recorded.
Excellent. Perfect. It's not going to take you anything to do that, but I gotta tell you, it's gonna look like you intentionally fucked it up, unless you want to spend a light side point or try to destroy it yourself, like with a roll.
I'll spend a light side point.
All right, yeah, you
to
just
make sure
do
there's
it.
no evidence that happened.
Yeah, you pull the flight recorder out. It looks pretty bad. You just bang it with you on a console.
Yeah,
just falls apart.
My own controls.
We Star Wars wipe to you getting out of the cockpit. And one of the techs is going in this thing. She's like, "Woo, man, that smells. Garrison, you son of a nerf herder." She literally flips her head down into the cockpit, and her legs are sticking up out of it. And she's like, "The gosh darn flight recorder is completely destroyed, Garrison. Think you can keep this thing together next time?"
If I did that, I'd put you out of a job. And I slap her on the back and laugh. I walk off.
All right. So a Carrack Light Cruiser is it looks like a loaf of bread. It can carry up to 1,200 people, but it only needs 2 people to fly it. So the flight deck is on the outside of the ship. Like, TIE fighters normally dock with it, and then they have to, like, get out of their cockpit and EVA into the ship. Instead, this Carrack Light Cruiser's been modified so you can, like, fly into the side of it. It's a mini carrier.
Okay.
And, the whole center of the ship is just enormous and open, kind of like a Battlestar Galactica style hangar deck.
It's got like the big open.
Yeah, 2 big open magnetic containment out to the sides.
It's open on both sides.
Yeah,
it's like
so you can fly in and fly out. Yep.
Gotcha. And it probably only houses like a single squadron. Like
it only has 4 TIE fighters.
Yeah.
They're all like being lashed down to the deck, and repairs are beginning. Most of the other TIE fighters, Darks 2, 3, and 4, they're just getting minor tune-ups and, refueled. But yours is a giant smoking mess.
Yeah. As soon as I'm walking across like the hangar bay and I take like my helmet off, I'm incredibly handsome, obviously.
Yeah, we got the shining image of you right there. Yep.
Yeah. All the female flight techs are like whisper, whisper, whisper.
Oh, you did. He's doing the little shy. You did that with the bull too. It was amazing. Your combat air group commander walks over to you. He is a short Imperial man. He's got the black Imperial naval outfit and bars and the thing with the pocket thing right there.
Yeah. What are they called? The cylinders?
Yeah, Imperial code cylinder. His feet are turned out perfectly with these shining boots, and he's like, "Garrison, I believe you've
flawless like stand at attention and Imperial salute and stuff."
He holds your salute there, like he does not salute you back. He takes the moment to berate you, and you get the idea. Like this is normal for him to just kind of make fun of you for a little while and force you to stand at attention. It's a small ship, and you've been together for a while. Garrison, I see you've brought another one back, mostly wrecked. What's that they say? The best crash is the one that you don't walk away from. You have any idea how much it's going to cost the Empire to fix that ship? And then he salutes you.
Say, one ship is a small price to pay for a victory.
Well,
one less dog out there.
It's one less smuggler. This used to be a hut system, The commander's been looking at acquiring it for the Empire. We can use all of the public support we can get right now.
Is this guy? He's not like the commander of this ship.
No, he's the guy he's like the logistical flight officer.
Okay, he's like the flight director.
Yes.
Kinda. Okay.
The captain will want to see you shortly, but I have to tell you, you'll have a few minutes, so make sure you get, rested up. Change out of that and get back into a dress uniform. Maybe comb your hair for once. Get some food in you.
Well, we can't all live the life of luxury on the flight deck there, sir. And I'll walk off.
He smirks. As you walk off, we get a janitor in the background, a space janitor in an orange flight suit who's, cleaning up the wreckage of your ship that's fallen down. Sees you
walk,
walking
like, in the
away.
background, like a pylon just like breaks off. Yeah.
Sees you walking away, and then like pushes his trash cart after him. There's like 2 droids that are following him. He looks around suspiciously to make sure no one else is watching him, and follows after you. And it's like, Garrison.
I don't look at him, but I slow my pace ever so slightly.
He pulls you into a bathroom. He's like, come here.
Okay.
This is your
That's
rebel
weird.
control officer.
Okay.
His name is Anton, and he's like, Garrison, it's time to do your part for the rebellion.
It's about time.
Pure rebel intelligence says.
Pull up my collar. I'm tired of this. I've had enough of this whole thing and that guy. Tell me my mission.
Finish this
to kill the
mission,
flight director.
and we'll be bringing you back. Debriefing. Everything we've done out here, we're both going home. But this is important. Rebel intelligence says that the Imperials are moving in on this system, and they're going to be detaching you from the ship for some sort of in-system reconnaissance. He hands you 3, like, rectangular antenna arrays. Whenever you have a chance, you need to plant these throughout the asteroid field. Different spots around the planet. They'll be able to keep track of ships coming in and out, passively relay it back to the rebellion. We'll have a very good idea of who has what on Tamazan. So when the rebellion comes to help liberate it from Imperial rule, we'll be able to meet them with exactly what we need.
So you want these physically on asteroids?
Yes. Those are your orders.
Oh, roger that, I guess.
He pushes out of the bathroom and is like, oh, it's disgusting. Garrison. I have to clean that up later. And like 2 people walking past are just like, ooh, Garrison again.
I'm okay with it. I walk out proudly.
we hard cut to you're on the bridge of the Carrick Light cruiser, and the commander, the captain, her rank is commander, but she is captain of the ship.
Right.
I know that's confusing, but it is a thing in Star Wars.
I'm there. I'm with you. I've cleaned up. I'm in my my Class B Imperial uniform.
She's holding a cup of tea and gestures for you to enter the ready room.
I do
it's all very Picardian.
Yes, my cap by my side and stuff.
Yeah.
And like all military bearing and discipline and stuff. Playing the part.
She's a very handsome woman, kind of going gray a little early.
I have a previous relationship with the woman,
Not really. I mean, she's a captain of the ship, but you know, you're a starfighter on a small carrier that isn't really meant to hold starfighters.
Right.
She's got her hair pulled back into a very stern utilitarian braid, and just kind of shakes it around as she sits down and says, Garrison, you've been doing good work out there.
Thank you, ma'am.
I don't think I need to tell you how important it was to deal with that smuggler. Hut trash is no longer going to be tolerated within the Empire. With their support for the Rebel Alliance and their ongoing drug usage, it's time we ended this. Forever. The Moff wants it done. And you're going to be the man at the front lines. This ship will be jumping out of the system, and the Indomitable will be leaving you behind. Your mission as Dark One will be to land on the planet Tamazan undetected and find a local cult of Jedi extremists. We believe that they are at the forefront of this rebel movement to force the planet into the clutches of the nefarious rebels. Find them and eliminate them.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
Will I have any lines of support during this mission?
None. And if you're caught, Imperial intelligence will disavow you.
And timeline?
You have a few hours.
For mission completion?
Before we leave. Until the mission's done, you're not to contact base. Radio silence.
So the Indomitable will stay in system?
No. We'll have to jump out of system to make it look good. Whenever you're done, send... Oh gosh, what's it called? The hyperspace net? There's a name for the Imperial Internet.
Yeah.
The HoloNet.
HoloNet. Mm-hmm.
Send a HoloNet to the ship. We'll be back within a few hours.
I salute again. Like, I'm good.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like now's the scene where we see you in the armory.
Yep.
It's just like row after... I mean, the ship is supposed to supply 1,200 crew members, so the armory is friggin' massive.
I'm just doing the thing where I have like a hover cart with like a crate on it, and I'm just running my arm across shelves, like dumping stuff into it. I'm not even looking at what it is. I'm just like when people have shopping sprees in grocery stores, I'm like, da-da-da-da. I'm just like dumping like grenades and blasters. I'm going up to racks and like throwing rifles in there, and I get like a couple different kinds of armor and put them in there. And I generally just get a shitload of indiscriminate stuff.
Okay.
If there's any like maybe not like top of the line communication stuff, but if there's like some surveillance type equipment where I could
feel
maybe
like there's
try and,
something like that in the book.
like
for sure.
some hacker gear of some kind, where I can like slice in.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, there's definitely slicer stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Make sure I grab some of that.
It's also super illegal, by the way. Like, you're probably getting it out of the like evidence bin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is the stuff that they've taken off of people.
I definitely, when I came to the armory, I gave the guard, the armory personnel, I gave them whatever their favorite thing is, like from the Chow Hall.
Timbiki
like,
Dark or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I gave them my Netflix, my HoloFlix, like,
Your
password.
Netflix account.
Yeah. I distract them, which I have I have a previously established relationship with these like, I've made sure these were my friends so that I could go in here and do this when the time came. As soon as I was assigned to this ship, I made sure that I went around and made friends and nice with all the right people, to where I could later facilitate getting what I would need to take these people out, because I would have assumed that would have always been my mission, right? Is to destroy this ship.
Yep.
So I've laid the groundwork for that. So I just go through this armory and just pull like all the best stuff. I go into the evidence locker and I get like the disruptors and like the super illegal crap that the Imperials like confiscate from people all the time. And
at the very end of it, there's like a sword rack of all of these vibro weapons that have been taken out, and there's accent lighting specifically on one vibro sword. It's like a black-hilted monster that's like 50% larger than it should be. It's
I
like
purposefully save it for last, like it's a real moment for me.
Yeah.
It's like Indiana Jones choosing the Holy Grail. Like, I'm like, this, no, and then I see the big, huge, like vibro greatsword. I'm like, yes, and I get it and I take it down. Also,
Excellent.
I get a couple knives and stuff too, like things that are more easily concealed. And yeah.
I feel like you're gonna have trouble storing all these things on your body.
Well, the intent is not to carry it all on my body necessarily, but to have it with me planet side. So I'm gonna requisition or request a vehicle, a ship.
They're sending you with your interceptor.
Just the interceptor only?
Yep.
Oh, balls.
Yeah, when you go for a vehicle, the combat air group commander.
It's my like jacked up interceptor.
Yeah, he's like, we are sending you with a vehicle, son. It's the one you came in on.
Great.
They're putting some emergency repairs on it. It'll fly.
Okay.
It's definitely not going to be parade ground ready for a few days.
Okay. Okay. All right.
It won't be smoking anymore.
Sure.
Probably.
Is it the actual commander that's assigned me this vehicle for this particular mission? I guess they probably don't have any other vehicles.
Yeah,
they
they
don't
don't
have like a drop ship, nothing like discreet. Nope. And we're gonna obviously leave an Imperial agent flying down to planet side in an interceptor.
I mean, they believe it will work.
Okay. All right, then of my crate, I load whatever I can fit into my interceptor.
I mean, a lot. You won't be able to carry it all, but you can definitely
it's all
put
like
it in the
falling
interceptor.
on me and stuff while I'm flying. But I just leave the crate with whatever I can't fit in there.
Your flight tech punches you in the shoulder as you're climbing into the cockpit. She tosses you a undamaged flight recorder. She's just like, make sure to plug that in before you go.
I hit her with a wink and a finger gun.
She rolls her eyes and just like,
yeah,
fly boy, keep it in your pants.
I put the computer in my pants.
Probably all of the techs in the area are watching this and are like knee slapping, hollering. You know, it's just a couple Imperial good old boys having a good time.
You know, just joshing.
Perfect.
Yeah, I sit in there. I throw that thing down on the ground. I don't plug it in. I just stick it.
Okay. Yeah.
I also want to check. I want to check my data pad or comlink or whatever I have, and I want to see if that money has entered my account yet.
Yeah. Yes, it has.
Okay.
You've got 50,000 credits for sure.
Now I could grease some palms if I need to. Then.
Yeah.
Perfect.
They get you off of the flight deck of the ship, and almost as soon as it's done, the ship finishes maneuvers. Like it hyperspaces out right behind you.
Okay.
And as they're doing that, they're leaving like a line of chaff and electronic warfare stuff behind. So there's like little white explosions everywhere behind you, and your sensors are overloaded. And you know, you're right next to the asteroid field. The planet can't see you quite yet. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to go to work, making my way around this planet, putting these sensors up on asteroids.
Okay, you're gonna do your rebel job first, then.
Yes, I'm gonna do that first.
All right. Are you gonna do this at what kind of speed are you looking to do this in your sector? Is it like get this done as fast as possible, or is it like be extremely careful and slow somewhere in between there?
I'm gonna be very careful and methodical in getting this done.
Okay, you're gonna take a lot of time doing it.
Yeah. I don't know how much time I have in an interceptor before life support and things like that. I assume it's limited.
It is limited, but you'll definitely have time to do this.
Yeah, but I'll keep like a small 5-10% of my time like as a safety net and take almost all the time I need to put these in what I think is the most the most effective range of like coverage and overlapping fields of sensors, and making sure that these sensors have a real good view of everything they need to have a view of.
Okay, you are going through an asteroid field. You are flying at, let's see here, TIE fighter flying through an asteroid field at top speed. Your silhouette is 3, so it divides down 2 because it's half up. And you're moving at speed 1, so you need to make a 1 red and 1 black piloting check.
I think my piloting is 3 green.
Piloting space is 3 green. Yep. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, it could end really badly for you.
Could be worse.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what happens here, buddy, and it's really bad for you.
What?
But, I mean, you failed.
But I got some advantages, right?
You do have some advantages, which is why you're not gonna die.
Right. It's very advantageous not being dead.
I know. Let me see what advantages on piloting space gives you, but it's probably not gonna be enough to overcome the fact you just crashed into an asteroid. You may spent to reveal a vulnerability in an opponent's ship. No, there's nothing like that. All right, so here's what happens. You're going around planting these things. You get 2 of them planted at different points around the planet. And then as you're flying, like a rogue asteroid slams into the ship, and one of your wings shears off. And the ship is basically like destroyed in the process. And your ball thing is like floating. It's yawing on an axis, so like you're trying to fly straight and you're just corkscrewing everywhere in a very odd way. And the ship begins slowing down and slowing down and slowing down, and you realize you are in a tractor beam. And you get like a call, and someone's like, Do you require assistance, Imperial officer?
Please identify.
My name is Monjal. I am captain of this fleet defense vessel. You appear to be in some manner of distress. And that's when you see coming out from behind an asteroid, Corellian bulk freighter. It's got weaponry. It looks like it's got some militant themes on it. You know, the painting is all like a two-headed eagle type creature. But on the other hand, it's a bulk freighter. It's really not going to hold up in combat very well.
It's a freighter that's been converted.
Repurpose, yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right. Affirmative. I seem to be having some trouble with my wing. Have you seen it?
Begin pulling you in. There's some like chatter that goes on, but they like get you out of the cockpit. They have to jaws of life the ball around you.
Well, they open it up, like guns spill out all over the field.
Exactly. But more importantly, the flight recorder just bounces onto the deck, and all of the Tamazan are just like looking at it. So they look kind of human with purple skin, and they've got like triple row of eyes. And one of them steps forward and like picks up a thermal detonator and is just like, "What is your purpose on Tamazan?"
Recreation. No, I've been left here by my unit to survey and scout.
They look at each other and they're like, "Maybe we're buying this." This is definitely something you're gonna have to roll for, though.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to add to that?
I'm here to survey and scout the area for possible insurgency and political destabilization.
That's important. Okay, so here's what happens. You're gonna get a blue die because that's important to them.
Yeah.
You have 2 yellow and a green, which is excellent, and you are going against 2 purple and a black because this situation's a little ridiculous. You do have a giant pile of guns lying at your feet. Also, you have a bunch of hacking equipment.
No, that's all in my pants. Remember. What do I got? 2 green and a yellow.
No, it's 2 yellow and a green and a blue.
2 yellow and a green and a blue.
And I'm gonna take that red away for you.
Okay, thank you. All right, and that's right.
Let's do it. Wow, that
Shazam.
is interesting. You have 3 successes and 4 threat.
I'm so good at this game.
I don't know that you are. I think the game is trying to tell you the opposite.
No.
Let's see what happens on a deception. I think with that many threat, I'll have to confirm it, but I think with that many threat, they're gonna realize later that you lied to them.
I mean, am I lying though?
I mean, the thing is, you're here to do something for the Empire, basically.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say that I wasn't doing that, right?
Well, I mean, at some point, they're gonna be like, well, you're also threatening our sovereignty.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Threat gives away a portion of lie. Perhaps the target realizes he's been lied to, but is unable to identify it, prompting him to be suspicious. All right, so these guys are
there's more going on
incredibly suspicious of you, but they're gonna go. You see him? He's like, "We would never interfere with the activity of an Imperial agent," and like gestures for you to take a seat. One of the Tamazan brings you like a cup of what is coffee called in Star Wars? Calf.
Calf. Yeah, it's called calf.
He brings you a cup of calf and like a pillow and a blanket. And the commander of the ship, Monjal, says, "We'll get you down to the surface and you'll be free to go, but we'll have to contact our commanders." And that's your successes, right? Like, they're being polite to you. They're doing the Canadian thing. They're gonna let you go, but then they're gonna double check with their commanders, and their commanders are gonna absolutely be like, "You can't let a man with this many guns run around on the planet. Bring him back."
So are we walking off away from the ship? I don't want to leave.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the ship's gonna land. there's like an Imperial embassy where they drop off the flaming wreck of your ship.
Cool. Thank you.
They push it out the side of the...
I'm like, careful with that. Careful with that.
They don't
Highly
even
sensitive
stop to land. They like hover a foot
military
off the
equipment.
ground and just push it out.
Shove it off.
That thing's never going to be used again, by the way. That's
Alright.
a piece of junk.
That's fine.
They cut it in
Do I
half.
have all my stuff? They loan me like
Yeah,
a
they
crate to
land,
put my stuff in?
but you have way too much stuff to carry. You're
Okay.
gonna have to make a decision here as to what you're bringing.
I can't borrow like. Okay, all right. I'll decide. I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't think I need to make like a detailed list. But I'm definitely taking my sweet sword. Like and then like some general survival stuff, like a combat knife, like a.
Yep.
What's legal to have on this planet? Like,
I
is it like
mean,
an open
this
carry
planet, this planet used to be part of Hut Space. Literally everything is legal here.
Okay, so it's fairly lawless.
Yeah, like no one bats an eye when you have a bunch of disruptor rifles, which are completely illegal in Imperial space.
Well, I'll keep like a sniper-esque rifle.
Okay.
Like a concealed disruptor pistol, if that's possible.
I don't
know
think
if those
that
are
is.
concealable.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know that they are.
Okay, well I will keep at least one concealable like holdout blaster, like
a
down in
light
boot.
blaster, yeah.
Yeah, like a light blaster.
I think holdout blaster actually is a thing.
Okay. Yeah, holdout blaster's a thing. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have my sword, some of the like the slicer equipment, and then like a rifle and a sidearm, and maybe like a gas mask. Like I said, like some general survival stuff. I would assume that before I came to this planet, I knew that it was entirely like breathable atmosphere, all that. It's like I don't need any environmental stuff.
Yeah, no, it's perfectly fine for humans.
Okay. Then yeah, I keep some of my just what's carryable. I have like a pack. I assume like I'll have a pack like commo gear and survival gear, and like some kind of like a standard weapon.
All right, you look like a Taurus covered in weapons.
Yeah, a couple grenades.
Thermal jets everywhere.
I'll keep one of those. Like no, that's all in the pack.
Oh, okay.
None of that's visible. The only thing that's visible would be like the rifle slung on my back, and like sidearm and a sword. And that's it. I guess maybe like how they do how cool operators put their combat knife like upside down on their chest.
Yeah, your K-bar, so you can draw it as you're slashing outwardly. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way I can dual wield my knife and sword at the same time.
That's not a thing, by the way.
Hey, dual wielding's a thing in this game, isn't it? Pretty sure.
If you're not using two of the same weapon, it's horrible.
Well, I took the feat, so.
Oh, you did? Well, then it's gonna be great for you.
I'm just kidding. I did too.
Like dual wielding two pistols is awesome. Dual wielding a blaster and a pistol means that you're just gonna whiff at everything.
Arrow, I'm gonna need my sword to look like the sword from Conan the Barbarian.
Really?
It doesn't.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
You could draw whatever.
Challenge accepted.
All right, challenge accepted. Just remember,
make sure it's the Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan the Barbarian.
Okay.
It has to vibrate at like thousands of times a second in order to cut things. So
it has an edge
well,
that is a
you can
single
see
molecule wide.
Yep. Perfect. You're left off outside of the military spaceport of the planet.
Can I sell my crate of extra stuff?
Oh boy, yes.
You can just make up a value.
I mean, yeah. You just have. I mean, we've already established that you have a bunch of credits in your account from having hassled people before. So if you want to sell your Imperial equipment on the sly, it's gonna get tracked back to you at some point. Like, this is all registered stuff you just checked out of the armory.
Can I have like an alias? Where as soon as these people leave on their bulk cruiser or whatever, in fact, I don't have a destiny point, or I would say like I would never have given them my real name.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have to get your destiny point back. Yep. Here we go. Now I have it.
But I didn't say.
Yeah,
that
it's not
so
about having your real name or not. So here's the thing. Let me just walk you through it. You went into an armory. You checked out a bunch of weapons. And then at some point in the future, an Imperial intelligence officer is going to get a report that says that the weapons checked out by you were recently sold on the black market on Amazon.
Well, I know that my employment with the Empire is about to
If
come
you
to a
don't
close
care,
anyway,
then that's fine. Yeah.
So I think I don't care.
All right.
If the timeline seems like it's not going to matter.
I feel like somewhere in the future, your bounty poster is like murder, sabotage,
That's
assassination, and then like someone pulls it down and puts another one up,
Yeah.
and the price is like 100 credits more and has like
illegal
mismanagement of
arms dealing.
Imperial equipment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would be arms dealing as well. Illegal
That's
arms
what I want.
dealing.
I want to find the shadiest motherfucker I can.
Oh, okay,
Oh, wait,
that's the
do I
thing.
have,
No, that's the thing.
Do I have like any rebel contacts on this planet?
No, the rebellion. You're literally setting up the rebellion contacts here. Like,
Okay.
you're the first wave. You're setting up like ship monitoring so that when the rebels show up to drop off operatives, they aren't like, oh, there's a bulk cruiser here waiting for us.
Okay. Gotcha.
They're gonna try to slip in past your ship, basically. The Indomitable. Yeah,
Okay.
trying to find someone to sell these to is a role. It's streetwise.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
You are okay at it.
No, I'm great at it.
All right, you have 3 green.
Garrison thinks he's great at it.
You're rolling against 2 purple.
3 green, 2 purple.
I will give you a bonus die. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you already rolled it. Well,
Already
you
did it.
fail.
That means they're all the bonus die.
But let's see here. I think you might get ripped off.
Easy
Figure
go,
it
easy
out.
go.
Easy
What-
come, easy
what happened?
go.
Oh, it's blank. I guess I get nothing from that,
Streetlights.
right?
Reveal additional rumors or alternative sources to find money. Alright, there's also a thing about smuggling and selling gear to people. Black market, here we go. The black market. Streetwise check. Okay, so nothing goes wrong, but you get way less for these things than you should have gotten.
That's fine. It wasn't mine to
Yeah,
sell
so
anyway.
you meet with the Deferonian. Those are the dark purple red skinned horned people.
Yeah, the rest of the
So we don't even see the deal. We just see you walking away from him, and he's like flipping credit chips between his fingers. And he gets on the phone and it's like Nash Tararak, and then like at the bottom it's like, you won't believe the kind of deals that I just got. if you and then it cuts off right there as you're walking away.
Sure. I'm happy to have like the 100 credits or whatever I got.
I mean, you got a couple thousand credits. You gave
Okay.
him a bunch of stuff, but it was clearly worth way more than that.
I wanna have changed clothes as well.
Yeah.
What
are you wearing now? I mean, you probably have obvious weapons out in a backpack
Yes.
full of weapons.
I have more generic, like obviously I've ditched anything.
Shorts,
that's obviously
t-shirt,
Imperial,
sunglasses.
Right? Yeah, cargo pants and Chuck Taylors.
Yeah.
No, kind of like.
The shirt just says Imperial Intelligence on it.
I mean, kind of like what Arrow is drawing, just like not with with no Imperial signal. Like it's still like very utilitarian. I got like the pouches on.
You've got what you could buy at like a local wannabe bounty hunter shop.
Yeah,
for, like,
exactly.
Yeah,
I went to the Army surplus store and I bought
Exactly.
like generic military scout looking, something that would blend in.
So yeah, it probably actually does look a bit like cargo pants and just, kind of like a loose vest.
Lots of belts.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Enough to make a Disney character mad.
Yeah.
Well, no, I should have gone with Final Fantasy character. There's
I got the belts that connect to the belts that go down
What
the
was her
sides
name?
and stuff.
Lulu from Final Fantasy X. Her entire dress was nothing but belts.
Yep.
Belts.
Whole dress
Entire-
is just a bunch of friggin'
From
belts.
just like armpits to knees, just
Yeah.
belts.
Yeah, no, that's actually what it is. Final Fantasy X is notorious for having the worst character costumes in the entire series. There's a guy who has a pants with one leg longer than the other.
I
Real
mean,
bad. It's real bad.
Doesn't that mean you're selling drugs? I thought that's what
I think it means you're playing Blitzball, but
that
oh, I like how you put vibrations around the sword.
Yeah, look
You're
at
like,
that.
whoa, this thing's awesome.
Boy, I threw down the gauntlet and you just picked it up and slapped me right back with it. It's a really good sword.
It's gonna be awesome when you have to do this in reverse, Rad, where he's just like, all right, my vampire has 2.5-inch long fangs. There's blood dripping off.
Yeah.
There's 3 spots on the front of my tuxedo. The tuxedo has a rose in the left breast pocket.
She has an MC Escher face tattoo. You just get the little message, Rad has left the meeting.
You're really bad at this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the worst show on the internet, everyone. Just remember, you can spend your time doing literally anything else.
Yeah.
Please go.
All right, you're standing in the middle of the mean streets of Temazon's capital,
Okay.
which aren't really that mean. Like, there's not a huge amount of crime here. The people seem kind of docile, and even your like illegal weapons dealer mostly seems interested in moving them off world, right? Like, no one's here buying them.
So this is formally HUT controlled, or
Yeah,
currently...
so until the Death Stars came around, the Hutts controlled this area, but in the last 3 years, they've been letting it go.
Okay, so it's kind of it literally is very like fringe for anybody. Like nobody's really directly. They're independent at this point. More
Yeah,
or
so
less.
I mean, obviously the Hutts aren't like letting everything go. There's still a lot of gambling and drug dealing and such.
Okay.
But, you know, it's an independent planet, Al. There's literally not a Hutt sitting on a throne somewhere decreeing that they must do, you know, whatever star. Oh, glitter stim, right?
Right.
Like,
Okay. Death sticks and glitter stem. That's a... Is that what people are pushing here?
yeah, yeah. No, they do death sticks and some
Like
minor drugs now. Like,
spice.
they had, so I mean, again, it's only been free for a couple years, but they have a culture of doing non-harmful drug usage. Probably we see you walking out of the place and like a dealer comes up to you with like a pack of death sticks and is just like, "Oh, hey man, you need some death sticks?" Death sticks. He starts
Doing the death stick thing.
No.
I'm just like, no, fuck off.
What- Oh yeah, like when you say "fuck off," he's like, "Whoa, come on, tourist. I know what you need. I know everybody here. I'm a guy
Well,
who knows
in that
guys."
case, maybe you have something more useful to that poison there.
Oh, he's like, what do you need? I've got
And
some
I get
Masai,
like
I've got the blue stuff. What do you?
I get a credit chip out and start flipping it like a 20s gangster would flip a coin, right?
Oh,
Up and down.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's gangster, son.
So wait, out of character. I'm looking for a group of forces.
What you were told is that they're Jedi cultists, which
Jedi
doesn't
cultists.
necessarily mean. I mean, for the
Okay.
Empire, Jedi cultist doesn't mean someone who uses a lightsaber. It's
Right.
anybody who keeps up a culture of the Force is real,
Sure.
the Jedi were real. So in the 20 years between 3 and 4, episodes 3 and 4, the Empire has eliminated any historical reference to Jediism.
I'm gonna ask this guy, what do you know about any local cults?
He's like, cults, so. Oh, you're looking for them. I know
Maybe.
where you can find them. I do a little business out that way.
Tell me who you think I'm looking for first.
I think you're looking for the kind of people who like peace and quiet. The kind of people who like mountainous terrain, if you know what I mean. Waterfalls, places of peace, that kind of crap.
Mysticism and all that.
Yeah, something like that. The kind of people who tell me not to do drugs.
All right, that's perfect. What's the I start nodding my head. What's the Star Wars equivalent to insight here to tell if this dude's lying to me?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's look down the skill list.
It's not skullduggery.
I think it might be perception, but
Oh yeah, I think you might be right.
it could
It's
also be vigilance. Let's look over the skills real quick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be vigilance, because vigilance is when you're looking for something, and perception is if you're like to not be surprised, right?
In uncertain times, people must be wary of carrying vigilance.
If you're tired of drawing armor, Arrow, you can always put like a dirty cloak on me, like covers most of my body.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Sick animation tips with Arrow.
Like,
Man.
yeah. When you get tired of drawing something, wear a cloak or a robe.
I always describe my character as having sick cloaks, yo.
Kind of like what are those characters from Destiny? The ones that are the hunters, like a Destiny
Oh,
hunter. They always have
no.
like the tattered like.
Now
half
your
cape.
guns have cloaks, and your cloaks
Yes.
have guns.
my knife cloak.
It's actually perception to like overhear stuff, see a telltale clue.
Okay, then I want to do that.
But this guy's particularly good at lying. I'm gonna give you a red, a purple, and a black die.
My goodness.
And it's not necessarily that he's lying to you. It's just that he wants you to be uncertain of his intent, so that you stick with him.
Okay. Well, I'm
money.
fairly perceptive, so.
How perceptive are you?
I'm 2 greens, 1 yellow perceptive.
That's pretty perceptive.
It's my job to pick up on things. Gotta take this blue off of here. Okay.
I got it.
Go.
All right. Your perceptiveness is, in fact, perceptile.
I just want to perceive if this guy, is he talking about, do I think he's talking about the people that I'm looking for?
All right, so here's the deal. I get to withhold a vital piece of information because of that threat. You get what you want, but I withhold something.
Sure.
So he glances off to the side and then glances back at you, and he's like, yeah, I know where those will people are at. You know, always talking about the Jedi. Always telling people no emotions, the Force is with us. They got a commune out there in the mountains. I got a data pad right here. He's still hitting his death sticks down, and then whoosh, there's a data pad in his hand.
Oh.
Sleight of hand master right there.
I roll my eyes.
Yeah, he stops in front of like a hover noodle cart. You know, like the guy's pedaling the noodle cart down the street. And then he stops so that he can get noodles. And the guy offers to pay for your noodles if you want to grab some too.
Yeah, I grab some noodles.
They are actually pretty good.
I need the noodle merchant to be like a Doug from episode 1. Sebulba. Sebulba is the noodle merchant. He's running.
He always wins.
He's run into hard times, and this is now his life.
Yeah.
He's a noodle merchant.
I mean, so Dougs
His
have
pod
like
racing days are
wicked legs, right? So
Yeah, they serve with their feet.
Yeah. He hands it over and he spits at your feet because he's like, Imperial sympathizer. So he serves you the food, but he still insults you on the way out after he's been paid. And he's like, Chupa de nale cabra. Chet bueno valie.
That was amazing.
Arthur does really good Star Wars language.
Una wataganga solo.
And it's always race specific too. Like he never does the Rhodian language for like an Athorian. Like it's always spot on.
I spent some time watching the movies, you know, getting a little practice. Yeah.
I chow down like Goku style on them noodles. I get down on those noodles.
He names a price. It's ridiculous. It's a large portion of your current amount of credits. It's enough that you might actually spit take the noodles in the process.
Okay, all right, yeah. I don't spit them out, but I stop shoveling them in.
This is easily dozens of times what the information would be worth if you were Imperial agent on an Imperial planet, someone trying to sell it to you.
As I stop shoveling them in, like they start to pour out of my mouth, but it's like an amount that would not logically fit inside of someone's mouth. They just fall out and then keep falling out and keep falling out. And I clean my mouth with my tongue. That's what? Can you say that again? Can you repeat that number?
So I have a question here. Are you trying to like intimidate him with this? Or are you are you like, what was that? Crack, 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 crack.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that number? Like,
can I turn this conversation down like a dark alley or something like that?
I mean, you're in the bad part of town where you sell illegal weapons.
All right, so I don't. This is the dark alley of town.
Yeah.
I'll give him a stern gaze.
As you do that, like people start disappearing off the streets.
Somebody jumps in a barrel, like tumbleweed floats by.
Space tumbleweed.
A space barrel, a hover barrel.
They had those in Star Wars Rebels. So,
Oh,
yeah.
did they really?
Yep. Yeah, he jumps in a hover barrel. The barrel just kind of shakes for a minute before stopping.
That's exactly what happens. Yeah, I'm gonna try and mean mug this guy into try again. I think you may have misspoke. Let's reattempt this negotiation here.
Oh, is there not actually like a straight intimidate skill? Is it skullduggery? It might be streetwise. I'm curious how we want to do this. It could also be leadership, but I think it's probably going to be streetwise.
Okay. I'll do streetwise.
Yeah, it's streetwise because you're negotiating to buy something from an underworld dealer.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like my negotiation.
It's going to be 3 purple. This is kind of what this guy does
That's fair.
for a living.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm going to use my dark side point to bump that up to 1 red, 2 purple.
Oh,
I know. I want you to have to choose between your giant pile of money and your duty.
I mean, I will choose my duty, but I'm also not opposed to shooting this guy in the face. If
He literally has shown you. All right. Yeah.
Well.
You try to intimidate him, and he's like, "Well, looks like the price just went up." And he names a new price that's like 70% of your current budget.
What the?
You could buy a small starship for the price that he wants for this information. He's looking pretty smug too, because he knows he's the only game in town.
Oh, okay. I go, well, fair enough, and I hold the chip up here.
Okay.
And when he reaches for it, I shove my gun into his stomach and pull the trigger.
Oh, shit.
All right, Han, why don't you... I don't even think we need to roll for this. He's not expecting it.
All right. I just want to...
My only question is it...
my little disruptor pistol.
Is it stun or... Oh, disruptor. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is he's reaching toward it, and then he just turns into an outline of ash that falls to the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, it just blows away in the wind. You hear the sound of a window slamming. The noodle cart guy, you hear the... Like, he wasn't there, but you definitely hear his jingling going rapidly in the other direction. Like,
I definitely start to slow turn my head towards him to see if he's still there.
No,
I assume he's
no. So he's like around a corner. You can hear like the little noodle song playing.
Oh,
but
the noodle song.
But before it was moving kind of slowly. It was still in the area, but now you're rapidly hearing like doo 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 doo.
Yeah. I would imagine that the whole town froze, and then after the ash like blew away, like everybody just resumed like normal, like like barrel guy somehow like reverse jumps back out and like goes about his business.
No, that doesn't happen. You literally just shot
Okay.
it, dude. This
All
is a
right,
kind of peaceful planet. I mean, this is a very serious crime here. Like what you've done isn't done.
I flip my hood up and just walk off.
Okay, Dr. Strange.
So I know that there's a waterfall, and they're out in the boonies.
Yeah. So this data pad outlines a place that's several hundred kilometers south of this location. It's towards the equator. It's a jungle that's built on the side of a massive mountain range, very thick. The commune is, of course, this is all from a drug dealer's point of view, right? The commune is listed as just being like protected by some sort of local gang called the Wills. The Wills are these weird cultists. They want everybody to give up drugs. They're taking in children. They're talking about planetary independence from all other governments. And like this guy's like, you gotta be shitting me, and he vlogs it, you know, for his boss. He's like, listen, boss, these people are crazy. I don't want to get anywhere near them, okay? I tried to offer one a death stick, and he told me something about peace through passion or some shit. I don't really know. Man, that noodle dish right there. I really want noodles now after this whole conversation. Oh, I love how he has like a suit on. He's just like, yeah, okay, come on. Whoa, hey, whoa.
So I have a set of coordinates.
Yes, it's very, very far away. It's going to take you days to get there on foot.
Okay, I want to go to first I want to leave the immediate area, right?
Yeah. All right. That's not that
and then
hard. Star
I
Wars
also,
what to wear?
yeah, like a
Trustworthy Sam's used car lot.
like a chop shop where they're
Yeah.
selling like stolen vehicles or
All right.
or like used
The
a
screen
crappy
wipes.
used car like lot.
The screen wipes, and you're 5
Yeah.
feet down the street.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have the same.
No,
like,
no. I actually feel like this is probably at the edge of town, right? Like away from the spaceport. It's literally in some place where you aren't likely to wander in.
And I've changed my cloak. Instead of a cloak, I have like the exact same cloak in a different color.
You just reversed it?
Yeah, I just flipped it around, and I made it to where like the hood was like the super wide Sith hood instead of like a regular like grandma hood.
No, that's how they do it in Doctor Strange too. If you look, they have the really wide crocodile hoods so that they can pull it over just to cover their eyes.
So like a cool guy flip it. So yeah, I just want to negotiate with this guy for like the lowest common denominator speeder that I can get.
Okay.
That I think will reliably make the trip and back.
And by the way, if I keep bringing up Doctor Strange, it's because the Doctor Strange outfits have a very clear connection to the Star Wars Jedi stuff. Like,
yeah.
They're very angular. There's a lot more triangles in it, but they're all connected. So my question here is, are you looking for a land speeder, or are you looking for, like, a
land
hover
speeder?
Bike? Okay.
Like Luke's, like, X-34, like...
Yeah, no, they definitely have an X-34 for sale, for sure.
Yeah. They're not in demand ever since the 38s came out, but that's what I
want. Thanks for that trivia, mate. Well, unfortunately, the X-38s come out on Imperial planets, and this isn't an Imperial planet. The X-34 is standard here.
I'd like to get one with a bubble cockpit if they have one available, so that I can sleep in it.
Okay, all right. They're going to charge you 3 times as much as normal for all that stuff.
3 times as much?
Yeah, I mean, this is like the standard land vehicle. You've come to a shop.
I give him 3.5 times as much, and I say I was never here.
Okay, we don't even see the guy you're talking to. You just hear a voice. It's like 1,500 credits, and you're like, how about 1,700? I was never here.
Exactly.
You see him swipe the credit chip off of the desk. There's like a hairy, Wolfman palm.
Yeah.
And then the guy says, "Who was here?" He tosses you the keys.
I just nod, and a cool guy slide across the hood of the speeder bike. Yeah. Exactly. They have like the 70s
Cowboy
like
Bebop
color
starts
stripes.
Yeah. And it's just you like going down a lonely highway with your blaster rifle over the back of your shoulder, driving one-handed.
Exactly.
There's a bass guitar playing somewhere. Boop, 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 boop.
I'm playing the bass guitar.
At the same time you're driving.
Yeah, the land speeder's on autopilot. Yeah, and I'm just gonna head out. I'm gonna map quest it and make sure I go a way that can be gone.
You get most of the way there, but once you hit the mountain range, the jungle here is so thick the land speeder literally cannot maneuver. The trees are like 50 and 60 feet tall.
My goodness.
And they're all very close together. Like getting through here as a human is going to be difficult, even if you have like a machete.
Well, I happen to have like a machete.
Yeah, you do. You have a vibro sword. You can literally cut through trees with that thing.
Yeah. So how far is the walk from here? Do I know?
It's gonna be a while. Why don't you make a survival check?
Okay.
I'm guessing your plan is to go there, or let you tell me. What is the plan? Right? Like, are you going there? Are you surveilling it? Are you sneaking in?
My plan is to sneeze and expertly mute myself while I do so.
Good plan.
I want to go there. I'm straight up heading that direction, but I'm also I want to like come up on it and be able to like survey it. You know what I mean? Like I want to bear crawl up the hill like with my binoculars and look and see what's going on without being detected to this commune. So if this guy's datapad had any information about like what would be a good side to approach from or any of that kind of stuff, like I would use that information to my advantage to try and come up and put some surveillance on this place.
Yeah. I mean, technically, a large part of this would be survival, but I'm not interested in hearing the story of you crawling through the jungle. I'm more interested in seeing you push a giant leaf out of the way, step out onto a rock cropping, overlooking a base,
Exactly.
with the sun rising in the background, and you've got one knee up, and you got the vibrosword cutting something apart. So let's go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. That's
Now,
my...
this is a secret base that they've intentionally attempted to hide, so it's going to be 1 red, 1 purple, and 1 black. And you're using a yellow and 2 green.
Yes.
All right. So failed. But you get a little something in return.
And all of my failures have been just barely failures.
No, it's real bad. And there haven't been that many triumphs. There's literally been no triumphs.
There's not been a single triumph or despair in this game.
No. It'll happen, and it'll be amazing. So you don't learn about the base, right? But you are
But I
going to
have
learn...
found it.
No.
Oh.
You're going to learn something else.
Okay.
You look down on where the base is listed as being, and there are tracks. Like heavy vehicle tracks. And as you look, going down the other side of the mountain, there's like something has cleared a way for a heavy object. Kind of like in Fern Gully, if you know about the Rainforest movie with Robin Williams, where they like cut a thing of trees out. Yeah. That has happened. And it leads to a hatch in the middle of the jungle.
So I look out on like a clearing with a path.
Well, you look where the mountain base should be, right?
Okay.
And everything's been packed up. Like it's clear that there was something here, but it's gone, and something led away from the base towards this hatch in the middle of the jungle. It's not that big. Like the clearing is much bigger than this hatch.
Okay. Then I will continue to. I'll follow like the chop down path.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna get either up on the mountain and try and be concealed up on, right, because like I can get kind of on the higher elevation and work my way around. If I look at that and it looks like I'll be totally exposed, then I will instead go through the forest.
No. Let's make a stealth check and see what happens
Okay.
here. Because this is interesting. You have 1 yellow and 2 going against 2 purple.
1 yellow, 2 green, 2 purple.
So this is you like in some jungle foliage at the edge of the mountain, looking down on this clearing. You got your macro binoculars that have, blue lines forming a square, zooming in. It's out of focus, and then it goes into focus, and you're like.
There's the 2 eye holes, but then there's only one.
Yeah,
hole
exactly.
on the front. Yes. Because that makes
welcome to Hoth.
Sense. Yeah.
Everything's fucked up, sir. That's because we live on an ice planet.
Worst decision ever. All right, I did it. I win.
You do remain hidden, and so this is what happens.
Stealthy as fuck.
As you're waiting, a cloak-shaped fighter comes by. This is like a not designed by the Empire or by the Rebellion. These are like independent, not even Corellian fighters. These are just like hut garbage. They're slightly better than Z95s, but also just kind of weird looking.
Yeah.
And they fly over the clearing. 2 of them come by. One of them lands down. And someone gets out that looks very Sithy.
Ooh.
In the middle of this hot jungle, they're wearing like dark black robes. They've got a flash of something at their belt. They move towards the hatch. They look up towards you, but then keep scanning the area around you, so it's clear that they haven't seen. They hold their hand out and seem to be waiting for something to happen, and then they keep holding their hand out a couple times, and then finally the hatch begins to open as if there's nothing there, right? Like, you're looking at the force being used.
Okay.
But this person has clearly failed several times to do it.
Took him a couple tries.
Right. A little girl pops her head out, and then like 3 more come out, and everybody begins rushing towards the dark figure, who kind of like bundles them up. And there's a discussion going on, and the second fighter begins landing. Someone in pristine white robes, also with some sort of metallic object at their side, is taking two of the kids. The first fighter is taking two kids as well. And as you get a closer look at these fighters, they're battle damaged. They look like they haven't been repaired in days, if not weeks. Most of them weren't very good in the first place. Like, there's clearly signs of sand scouring, like environmental damage. Who's maintaining these is not doing their job. They look like the garbage that they are.
Okay. Do I know whether or not I would know? Are these craft? Do they have hyperdrives?
They do not.
They do not. Okay. So don't steal these. They suck. Got it.
Nope. Oh yeah, they really suck. I mean, they're better than your TIE interceptor. Quick flash to have an interceptor like an M&M.
A bunch of children crawling over garbage, like dressed like Rey from Star Wars, like pulling parts of it off.
Well, you left it at the Imperial Embassy, right?
Oh,
and you never actually told anyone what it was doing there. So there's probably like a stormtrooper squad out, like pushing their rifles into it, looking for things.
It's got a bunch of like sensitive equipment on it from like classified like military aircrafts, like like Black Hawk Down happening over there at this.
But it's in the middle of their base, like it's not like they need to go out and find it. They're just like, sir, this is TK-345. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. It looks like a TIE interceptor that's been chopped in half.
Yeah. Okay. So, do the children run up and greet the second figure similarly to the first?
A little hesitantly, and the second figure isn't like holding their hands out. They run up like they're expecting that, but then stop short.
Okay.
The young boy like gives a bow, and the young girl just kind of. These kids are anywhere between 3 and 7 years old.
Okay. There's 2 children or 4 children?
4 children. They're all human, and there's 2 going with each of them. There seems to be some sort of problem getting them in the cloak-shaped fighters because the fighters are not made to carry passengers. Right? There's military equipment.
Oh, they're all loading up right now?
Yep. What do you want to do? No one's noticed you.
Can I use my communication equipment to try and detect any transmissions that are happening currently with these fighters or anything else in the area?
Yeah, there's no communications.
No like comm traffic going on anywhere. It looks like they're gonna leave like any minute.
I mean, let's be clear. There's not exactly military discipline here.
Okay, yeah.
These are caretakers who are attempting to get children inside of military aircraft that are not meant to hold them. It's a bit of a disaster. You have kids, so I assume you know how this is going to go.
Yes. No, I'm I'm tracking exactly.
As Garrison's looking down there, he's like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes?
Yeah, they're putting one kid in and then leaning down to get the other kid while that kid climbs down the other side and like runs off. And they're like, oh, what? So, yeah.
You've got some time. Not a lot, but some.
I want to not sneeze again, which is probably what's going to happen. I want to make my way down and get
decent height
and get closer without alerting them to my presence just yet.
Okay. I mean, you had a successful stealth roll. I don't see any reason why you couldn't do this.
I want to get close enough to where can I overhear any talking, any names?
No, that's a totally different
like,
thing. Yeah, this is going to be a perception check because that's what that is.
Okay.
Is perception. Literally describes it as overhearing a critical piece of information. On the other hand, you do have a light side point. If I can tempt you into giving up your precious dice.
I don't know. You routinely hose me with those things.
I know. That's what I'm.
I know that's your job and stuff. So.
Yeah.
A really I'll spend the light side point. Just take it. Just take the light side point.
Okay. All right. Use light side. Boom. You get close enough, and as you do, the black hood falls back as it gets tangled up in the fighter. It's a young girl. She's about 16 years old. She's whatever race Thrawn is. Chiss. And blue-skinned, red-eyed. for Arrow's sake. I guess she's very elfin looking and very pretty. She's got thin eyebrows, and they seem to be arched with concern for the kids. The white hood goes back. It's an old man, probably in his 80s. Kind of looks like he belongs in as a general. Got a very serious bearing to him. Big, well kept salt and pepper beard, mustache, enormous amount of forehead creases, and dark shadows under the eyes. And they begin conversing, and he's like, Exandra, it's time. We need to get out of here. All right, children. You. Just sit down. Sit. And the two that are in his cloak-shaped fighter, he, like, takes their heads and pushes them down into the little cargo area. He's, like, handing them bungee cord stuff so that they can strap themselves in. He's like, Exandra. And she's like, yes, I know, Father. It's fine. All right, children, what do we say? And they begin, like, reciting little, it's not like Jedi poems, but, like, weird will poems that are about the Force. And then, the Force will protect us. As they get strapped in. Exandra just... I hope the Force protects us. Why did we steal these? Terrible. Can't even get off planet with them.
Do I have enough money to buy like a spaceship?
I mean, you didn't pay that other guy, so yes, you.
Okay. Right.
And let's be clear, I don't mean a starfighter. You could buy an actual spaceship.
I could buy like a YT-1300.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, all right. Because who wouldn't want one of those?
Pretty much anybody. They're terrible.
Something of the like, right? Like a light freighter of some sort.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there are some very big light freighters you could absolutely buy. YT-1300 is certainly available as well.
Okay. All right. So at this point, I will choose to reveal myself in the most non-threatening way possible.
What way is that?
I will put I'll take my like pistol belt off, right?
With your 5 pistols.
Yes, all my knives and stuff, and I'll keep my sword on my back, but I take like my pistol belt and my rifle in one hand and my backpack in the other hand, and I hold them up and I do like a whistle, and I start to step forward and I toss them both down on the ground and keep my hands up in the air, and I just say, it looks like you could use a hand.
As you're saying that, the pistol belt jerks into the air, and one of the pistols flies out of it into the young woman's hands. She's holding the pistol toward you. She looks shocked, not that you're there, but that worked.
I'd say that was much better than the hatch.
The man draws his lightsaber.
Okay.
And he does it by pulling it off his belt just into his hand, and lights it with the.
He's not surprised that worked, I imagine.
The blade is red.
Oh goodness. Okay.
And he's like, "Come to the wrong place, stranger. What is it you think you want here?" He begins like shrugging off his robe, right? Like he's preparing to fight.
I keep my hands out.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not here. I'm not here to do what I was sent to do.
That's very confusing to them. They look at each other brief. He turns the sword to point it towards you, and then he looks at Exandra, and then looks back.
And I'll say, what's the name of my Carrack cruiser that I was based at?
The Indomitable.
The Indomitable. The commander of the Indomitable, the Imperial Carrack cruiser that was responsible for this place, sent me here to find and eliminate the Jedi cult that was in the area. That's what I was told to do, but I have my own agenda separate from that. So all I'm really here to do is confirm your existence and give you the heads up that the Empire has plans for this sector, and if you want to continue to subvert them, which I assume is what you're doing, then I might be of some help to you.
So the lightsaber, he puts it back on his belt. Frustratedly, he like makes a gesture, like ah. But in the process, like 2 of these massive 60-foot tall trees get ripped out of the ground and slam into the clearing. All the kids are screaming and the fighters. The young woman is like, ugh. Why do you have to keep doing that? That's not our way. And he's like, it's whatever way I'll tell you it is, girl. He turns to you, Garrison.
Mm-hmm.
Want you to listen very closely. There are no Jedi on this planet. Jedi are a myth. They're gone. I appreciate the information you brought me, but I don't know why.
That doesn't make any difference to me whether or not you call yourself Jedi or whatever you want to call yourself or not call yourself.
We're survivors. You understand? And
Well,
it's in my best interest and these children's best interest if you disappear. You better give me a damn good reason why you're still alive.
Well, one reason is cramming 4 children and 2 cloak fighters may not be your best avenue of escape right here. And I can provide you with something better. Further, I work for an organization that directly opposes the oppression of the Empire. And if these children's safety is something that's paramount to you...
I want to be clear. They interrupt you. Like, when you say the first thing about the fighters, Exandra, like, shrugs and is like, that's a good plan. Like, not using these fighters is a good plan. But when you say an organization, she sees her, like, sharp teeth come out and she's just like, the rebellion? You want us to join the rebellion? Really? Are we the children now?
If you were so inclined, but I'm most interested in you not joining the Empire. Now, if you wanted to get on the same team that I'm on, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But if these children are anything like you are with what you're capable of, then it's in my best interest to make sure that they don't end up.
So the old man holds his hand up. He says, got this wrong. They're not Jedi. They're the children of Jedi. The Empire has ordered the death of all of those with the bloodline. Kids don't have any abilities at all.
I mean, that's fine too. Even if it's not the children, it's just you two. It's in my best interest and the rebellion's best interest to make sure you don't end up anywhere in or near Imperial hands. So that once I complete my rebel mission here, or even before then, I'm more than happy to help you ensure the safety of these children and yourselves and put you as far out of Imperial reach as possible.
Kid, you have no idea. Well, you're not going anywhere. He pulls one of the blaster pistols out with the force and holds it on you and is like, why don't you find a stump? He like gestures to where one of the trees he pulls out is and sit down because I feel like we're going to be here for a while.
I do it.
All right. Arrow, you were looking for a description of the young woman, Exandria? Yep. Okay. She's Chiss, so she's got light blue skin, mostly human, thin arched eyebrows, red eyes.
What's her race again?
CHISS.
That's easier.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
And I described her as looking elfin looking because I know that's your favorite type of female face type to draw.
It is. Okay.
Okay. I feel like we're coming up on a break time.
Cool.
When I wrote what we were doing tonight, I didn't know that you wanted less mysticism, but I'm hoping that this isn't too much mysticism to throw at you.
Yeah.
A salty old soldier and a young woman who is not good at the Force.
I like it.
Yeah, this has been crazy so far.
Has it?
I feel like it's been kind of insane.
I feel like I've progressed along a very logical, like, this is obviously what has to be done step by step. Like,
shot a dude outside a noodle cart.
Well, the noodles were good though. So
noodles were good. You sound like a crazy person.
He might be the only guy that dies this entire show. Because I knew.
Might
Look,
be right. You haven't actually killed anybody else.
No, he's the only guy. So I knew that I would need my money.
Of course, you knew that you would have to kill your local weed dealer.
Yes, I knew that I could not spend that amount of money on that guy because I was gonna have to leverage it to not have whatever the Jedi people were kill me. Like I knew that later in the campaign I was gonna need to be valuable, so I couldn't afford to spend what I had that was valuable.
Tell me
on
whatever
that
you
dude.
need to justify your actions.
Oh no,
You're
I
gonna
will
pick
gladly.
the cheapest freighter you can, so that bank number is still big when you get home.
Maybe. The Rebel Alliance, they're always short on funds, so you got to make sure
Okay.
you make bank.
You're gonna give it you tax deductible, right?
When they put you on a mission, they can't always fund you with what you need to be funded with. So it's important to have your
that's
own
canon
funds.
as shit, right? Like,
yeah, you need
there's
to
a
have
whole
your
bunch of
own
Star
resources.
Wars where they're like, you're gonna have to steal what you need from the Empire.
Exactly. So I make sure I keep my own personal resources available to me to get myself out of tight spots.
All right, excellent. I love how surprised she looks, by the way.
Yeah.
Just even with the framework, she's like, oh shit, I just did that.
Yeah. That dude was there. How long's that dude even been there?
All right. We'll be back in 7 minutes for the second half of On the Tabletop, episode 4 with Aristotle and Ranosaurus.
Thanks for
And
tuning
just
in
a
so
reminder, if you like commissioned art, they both do fantastic work.
That's right. And if you like Star Wars, be sure to send lots of messages to
Yeah.
Arthur to continue
Don't
the
do
Star
that.
Wars content on this channel.
Don't get people to harass B-Rad. That's
Harass
my
him.
job, to send them
No,
to
no,
harass
no.
someone else. All right, if you
Harass.
want me to run Star Wars, make sure to talk to my project manager. Just send an email to brianjennings@nbc.com.